Hello, thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and welcome back to my Modern 1.10.2 series and my retro futuristic factory. We are all stocked up on biodiesel, and we've got all our machines set up to continue producing biodiesel. That's what we did in the last episode, so that we can make our diesel generation today and generate tons of RF, 4,096 RF per tick. But this guy does use a lot of biodiesel, so that's why I wanted to make sure that our tank is full. And actually this thing is almost full as well. Oh, it is full. It is full. And it's almost even full of plant oil. Whoops. But that's coming a little bit more slowly because we're waiting for pumpkins. But our ethanol, we've got tons of that because we've got so many freaking apples, and we're producing apples way faster than we're using them, and that's kind of one of the reasons we started doing this in the first place. So we have one more machine to make, and that is the actual generator, which is under Powers Wire Construction Diesel Generator, and here it is, and it is a big one. It's the biggest machine we've made so far, and it's gonna look like that. It's gonna look like an old-fashioned train engine, kind of. So this is all the stuff we need. Oh, we have one thing. So let's head over to our little crafting grid over here. We're going to need 6 steel scaffolding, 5 fluid pipes, 1 redstone engineering block, which we already have, heavy engineering, 13 heavy. We have some of the stuff already, so 9 radiator blocks. Wow. So this guy's going to be a little bit expensive, but let's start with the steel scaffolding. Okay, so we've got 10 of those now. We need 5 fluid pipes. Yes, we have exactly 5 fluid pipes. Although we're going to need more, actually, so that we can get the biodiesel into it. 1 redstone engineering block we already have. 13 heavy engineering blocks. So we're going to need 13 steel mechanical components, which I thought we already had some, but maybe not. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to need 13 pistons. I should probably set up auto crafting for these. That would make a lot of sense. So now we should have just enough to make 12. Oh crap, yeah, right. Because we have to make an even number, so I guess we have to do one more of each of these. Okay, so we've got 14 of those. We're gonna have 1 left over. And 4 generator blocks. So we're going to need a couple of Kinetic Dynamos. Alright, so we've made a couple of these in our first episode. Boy. There we go. 9 radiator blocks. This, we're going to have to go up to the house for this, because that's where our water is. In fact, I'm just going to set this one up for auto crafting so that it'll automatically pull the water out of the system for us. Let's start putting this guy together. So let's get down to the first level. Make sure that we have 2 blocks there, so it's going to be a little off center. This is where we're going to have our desk. This is going to be a little office corner with a nice view of the neighborhood and all that. Okay, the rest are pipes. Generator block, right? And pipes. Oh boy. Okay, so 3 more at the back, and then a bunch of light engineering blocks, it looks like. Hey! Stop that. And generator blocks in the front. I really like building these immersive engineering machines. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun than crafting. Crafting a box in a crafting table. Okay. Oh, those are heavy engineering blocks. And one more there. And then our redstone thing is right there. Cool. So our little control center will be right here by our desk. Right by our office. Alright, level 3. Ding, 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 and then across. Okay. enough. And finally, oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Okay, now we hit this guy with our hammer. I don't know where. Right there. Bad for the environment. Uh-oh. I hope that's just a figure of speech and not like actually true. There it is. There's our diesel generator. Look at that. Oh, if I would have known it was only 3 high, I actually would have put it back 1. In fact, now I think I'm actually... God darn it. I'm going to move it back 1. I don't want it like right on the aisle like that. There we go. Nice. Okay, let's get this party started. So first we're going to need a bunch of parps. We're going to need a bunch of parps. We're going to need a bunch of pipes. Okay, so the engineer's hammer turns my my refined storage grid. Pipe. That is probably going to be enough. And we need to pipe this guy out from the bottom. Actually, we can do it from any one of the sides. I'm going to do it all the way at the bottom. And then we're... that's weird. Okay, and then we're going to input... I kind of want to be able to walk through here. So I'm going to do something crazy. Why is that doing that? I don't know. I'm going to throw a lever right here so that we can shut this thing off. We'll just do it manually for now. When you give it a redstone signal, it shuts off. You can hit that thing with a hammer to invert that so that it requires a redstone signal to turn on. In fact, I actually kind of like that idea. Let's do that. Because at some point we're going to set up automation with this thing. Well, at some point meaning later today. And then these are our outputs. So we're going to want to put 3, no, not relays. We're going to want to put 3 connectors on here. Put all of them into a relay. And then our relay is going to connect to our power cell. Hooray! Oh, I want a power buffer here though. Crap, I forgot about that. Okay, so we should be good to go. We've got a fluid tank, or the fluid tank does require a redstone signal in order to pump fluid out. It's not the pipes aren't rendering quite right, so we'll see whether fluid will pass through them or not. Oh, there we go. Hooray! We are now generating, well, we should be, let's see, 4,065 R per tick. It should be 4,096, but we might be losing a little bit through the wires. That seems like an awful lot, but yeah, it's working. Hooray! Let's see, how are we doing here? This guy's keeping up. Nice, but this probably isn't. We're probably... Oh, we are. Look at that. Nice, everything's keeping up. And our diesel engine is humming. Hooray! We might want to have a chimney or something. Let the exhaust float away. This thing uses about a bucket of biodiesel every few seconds. I think it was like 6 or 7 seconds, and produces about 500,000 RF from each bucket. Wow. Okay, I was wondering if this was going to be the case. I was reading about it and it seemed like this was going to happen, but I didn't believe it, and now that I've seen it, I believe it. As soon as this thing was full, it shut off. That is really awesome. As soon as it doesn't have any place to put the power, it just shuts off. So nice. So we don't have to worry about like all that. So but what I do want to do, because we've got renewable energy with our this and with our charcoal and our tree farm, I only want this thing to run when this energy cell, when our like main power gets down below a certain point. Okay, so this should be relatively simple. I've got an RF storage monitor here from RF Tools. Oh, that's weird. We're going to look at this power cell, and we are going to emit a redstone signal when the power level is less than 80%. And the little red thing is showing us that it's going to emit the redstone signal on this side. And then we're going to tell this guy that we want to insert active with signal. So we'll only insert power in there when this thing is emitting a redstone signal, and that will only emit a redstone signal when this guy is less than 80%. This I'm going to have to move to the front. Oh, that was weird. The diesel generator kicked in for like a split second. Okay, and then we are going to extract from there, but we need to change this. What? Output. Okay, I don't know why that happened. That shouldn't have happened. So we're extracting. So right now there should be no redstone signal here, and this guy should not accept any power. I have an idea how we can test this. Why don't we just take this link card out? That leaves us with just a little bit of RF here, and I can drain it out with my battery. And as soon as this thing gets down to 800,000 RF, our generator should, well, actually it should start pulling from, yep, hooray! And then it's going to fill it right back up. Nice. And then it'll stop because we're above 80%. Beautiful. Now I think it's safe for us to set up our quarry to pull power from our main area. Let's do that. Let's just do that for fun. That'll be a good way to end. But this build is done. We now have a diesel generator, and it is kicking in just when it's needed, when our renewable energy sources are not keeping up. However, these are actually renewable energy sources as well, because it's all stuff from farms. We've got pumpkin seeds and we've got apples coming from our tree farms, and we've always got a huge surplus of apples because of our coal generators, or because of our charcoal generation process. So in fact, I bet if we look right now, we'll probably see we still have over 10,000 apples. So just for fun, let's see how fast this builder will run when we're actually able to give it a decent amount of power. Because right now I've got these two coal generators out here, and I'm just piping out coal to them and having it its own power network, just so that it doesn't completely drain our power at home. But I don't think that's going to be much of a problem right now with our current power setup, because that was a long time ago when I set this up. I've got a power cell here. This thing does max out at 5,000 RF per tick. So, so I guess that's all we're going to be able to see right now. But you can see this is our power from home, and we now just added another million to the network. So we're now at 11 million total. This is sending our stuff back home. Now there's one thing that I want to do. So we would just flip a lever to turn this thing on. Oh, but I don't want to do that at the moment, because what I want to do, wait, did I put the link card in there? I didn't. Okay, so there's our link card. There's the area we're going to be mining. And what I'm going to use, I'm going to do the RF monitor again. But I don't know, let's see. It should be the back of this that has the redstone thing. So it should be sending a redstone signal to that when this power cell is greater than, let's say, 20%. So if, for whatever reason, our power at home drains below 20%, the quarry is just going to stop working, which is cool, because that way we don't have to worry about the quarry like totally draining our power at home. So power cell, 20%, when it's greater than 20%, we're going to emit a redstone signal. So now this should be working. Yeah. See if we can find out where it's... There we go. There we go. Look at that! Oh my god. That is so fast. Ooh, what is that? Oh, it's just copper. Emeralds and everything. That is insanely fast. Holy crap. Alright, our diesel generator's running. That means our power rate dropped below 80%. And it'll keep running until we get above 80%. Now, if for whatever reason our diesel generator can't keep up, and if our power runs below 70%, then this will kick in. Oh yeah, the hum of machinery. It's so nice. Awesome. So if we run out of seeds or something because our pumpkin farm isn't keeping up or whatever, or if we're just sucking so much RF that 4092 RF per tick isn't enough, why is this only... Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I get what's going on. Yeah, then our deep resonance stuff will kick in, and this will be producing like 15,000 RF per tick. But the deep resonance crystals are a little bit harder to work with, and they're harder to get. They're not renewable, so this power is all renewable. I love the way this stuff looks. It's so cool. Oh, I can finally think again. So just a couple of numbers. This thing uses about 160 millibuckets per second, which, so it uses one bucket about every 6¼ seconds. It's about one seed and one apple per second in order to produce 4096 RF per tick. So just to be prepared for how much resources you're going to be using, it's about 1 per second and 1 seed per second. Now if you use hemp seeds, hemp seeds actually have triple the oil. So in that case, it will only use 1 hemp seed every 3 seconds. I personally like using pumpkin seeds just because then there's no byproduct, like there's no hemp string. And I've already got tons and tons and tons of hemp string, but you just take the pumpkins and turn them into seeds, and then you don't have anything left, which is nice. I like that. I have been a little bit busy since the last cut. I cleaned up my machines in here a lot because it was kind of driving me crazy that it was such a big nasty mess. So I've got these lined up real nice now, and the pipes have much cleaner routes now, so I like this much better. It's also making it a little easier to maintain things and to get where I need to go and all that. And I turned my generator this way so that it wasn't sticking out like this, and so that the pipes are a little bit cleaner. So yeah, just aesthetical stuff. I did end up losing all the contents of my refinery and my industrial fermenter because I pushed this that way. In fact, I pushed that entire wall back with the help of the displacement wand. That is a really nice tool. Check this out. So you can push up to a 7x7 area here, and it'll push everything, the windows. Check that out. And I just pushed that whole wall back. Let's see if I can get this back in now without oh crap. Here, I wanted to demonstrate this for you and everything, and I screwed it up. Here, let's do 3x3. We can do it 1x1. And then I had to move these windows down one. I actually pushed it out and then over and then in, like the inside one. So the building is now longer by 1 block and much cleaner on the inside. But I did lose some of the rendering of the the wires, which seems to happen every time I restart the server. I lost all the wires out there too, and if I replace one of these things, I'll get some of them back, but I've got to replace like a few of them. So there is a bit of a rendering bug, it seems, with the wires. But yeah, I'm so much happier with this now. It's the only thing I don't like is that I kind of wish I would have pushed these out one more so that I could walk behind here. But I'm not gonna. I would lose all the contents of all these unless I pull it all out manually. If I did that, and plus then I'd have to rebuild them all, and I'll just leave it the way it is for now. I don't really ever really have to go back here much. I mean, I don't really know why I would now that everything's all set up. There's really nothing to go back there for anymore. This I would also like to move one block in that direction, but then we would lose all the fluid inside, and that's a lot of fluid. I don't really have anywhere to store it for the time being. The generator is totally safe to move though because it has no storage. There's no, it doesn't store any diesel, it doesn't store any RF. It just pulls it as it uses it. So that's kind of nice. It makes it a little easier. I did have to move my little chimney thing though, so that the smoke could go out. Not that that matters at all, but it's you know, it's for looks. And then actually while I was at it, I took all of my power gen stuff out of the base and I brought it all in here. So now all of our power gen stuff is out here in these two buildings, and I've got it prioritized. These are, oh, and I've got the little graphical power monitor from Ender.io so that we can see. This is all my coal generators, and then I've got a couple that are running on saplings, and then we've got our combustion generators running. One of them's running hooch, the other one is rocket fuel. So the way I have this set up now for priority purposes is we've got our shared power cells. We've got 11 of them, which is why we have 11 million RF throughout our entire network. And I've got the watermill and the windmill just pumping power directly into this guy. And then these guys, all of these machines over here are kind of the second priority machines. So if we're not getting enough power from our watermill and windmill, which we usually aren't because it's only about 100 RF per tick, then these guys are all piping into this capacitor bank, which is then, well, we can't see it, but there's a pipe going from that capacitor bank into this power cell. And we've got a power monitor here that will emit a redstone signal when our power is less than 95%. So these guys will only put power into our power cell if it's down 95%. So if it's down to about 105. So that's why it's kind of hovering around 105. So, but that gives us a little bit of a buffer for our renewable energy for this, and I'll probably add some solar panels and stuff at some point too. So that basically it makes these the second tier, but they're almost always running, but they're producing more power than we're using. So what I've got here is I've got this guy as kind of a buffer that holds 5 million RF, has 5,000 input output that all those things are piping into, and then I've got this power monitor here that's set to tell these machines to run when the storage is less than 50% or greater, and to emit a redstone signal when the storage drops below 50%, and to maintain that redstone signal until it reaches 99%. And that's referring to this. So when this thing drops below 50%, those things will start sending power to it, and when it gets above 99%, they'll stop sending power to it. And what that's going to do for us is, especially, well, for one, it's going to keep these machines at the same priority. So it's not just going to pull power from this thing, and if it's getting enough from this, then not pull it from anything else. Because what's going to happen is once that thing is full, all of our machines are going to shut off, and they're going to fill up their internal buffers, because I've got all of our conduits set to, I've got a redstone conduit running all the way from our our power monitor to all these machines, and also the power conduit. So the power conduits are all set to extract only when active, or only when they have a signal. To be only active when they have a signal. So it's only going to pull power from these machines when they have a signal, when there's a redstone signal. So that means rather than having it pull power out of these machines a little bit at a time, and then having it to, and then it has to burn an entire thing of charcoal, which generates 85,000 RF per tick, or 85,000 RF, and then wastes a bunch of charcoal. This ends up making it way more efficient. And then, but these guys, they burn charcoal all the time, even when their buffers are full, which kind of sucks. I didn't realize that was the case. So these guys I just have set to redstone mode on to activate. So these guys will only even run when it's activated. Now right now the redstone signal is turned off, probably because our power monitor was full. So it had filled up. So now they're all shut off. So these guys are just filling up their internal buffers, and they'll stop burning stuff as soon as their buffers are full. These guys stop altogether because I don't want them to keep burning charcoal. And the same with all the machines. All the machines are just going to fill up their internal buffers, and once their buffers are full, they're going to stop running. So it just makes them run, especially the coal machines, it makes them run a lot more efficient. And then over here, so that's tier 2 basically, or priority number 2. And then over here, where we've got our deep resonance crystals that are doing like, this is not our best crystal, but the ones in here are doing like over 15,000 RF per tick. They're only going to kick in when the power cells, these are all linked, all our power cells, is less than 70%. And this guy over here is set to 80%. What that basically means is that our first priority is going to be our solar power. If that doesn't keep up, all this stuff will kick in. If that doesn't keep up and we end up dropping below 80%, then our diesel generator kicks in. And if that doesn't keep up, if we're using even more RF than that, or if we run out of fuel in here or something like that, and we're not keeping up, then our deep resonance stuff is going to kick in, and it'll start using our fuel. Because these are all renewable. I mean, this is apples and seeds. That's all renewable resources. Where the deep resonance stuff is not renewable, so that's why I have that kind of as the last priority. So I do hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to click the like button, and if you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do read all my comments. My channel is small enough that I can do that. I've definitely got the time. Or if you have any suggestions, ideas, or whatever, or just want to say hello, please feel free to do so. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get to respond, but I usually do respond to all my comments. So thank you for watching.